and while Carl and Judith are fleeing, Judith gets bit, and he has to put her down. And then Carl's the only survivor, and he walks off into the sunset carrying Judith's body.
Oh, that's so sweet.
It is sweet.
Really?
Yeah, that's dark. And yeah, I could probably see something like that happening too. Although, well, I don't know. We just read that Mr. Sapin wants it to go on for 10 years, but I don't think that's going to happen. I'm guessing.
I think maybe 4 or 5 seasons.
Yeah.
It depends on how long Andrew Lincoln is prepared to stay, and also
Well,
how long.
They can kill him off early.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but I think if the writing stays good, or is good, that it could go on to 7 seasons. That would be my guess.
Yeah,
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
On the other hand,
Or old Judith is. That's when he has to put her down.
She could be 7.
I think that didn't The Simpsons just get to they passed their 20th year, and I think they're closing in on like 25. I think
you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. So if The Simpsons,
I read that somewhere.
Yeah.
But this, I'm already sick of zombie movies, so.
How dare you?
I know.
I don't know you.
Cut that part out. Okay, my number one is that Rick gets bitten at the beginning of the final episode and then shambles around for an hour. And then in the final moments of the episode, he looks up soulfully into the camera.
And says...
The end.
That's Andrew Lincoln, right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
And I want him to say it just like that.
And we've already heard him make a zombie sound, so I guess that's kind of a spoiler.
For the final moment of the show.
I like it. The middle part sounds a little boring, but okay. My number one is it ends with New World Order, a matriarchal society. Michonne's in charge. Rick gets tired of leading, and Michonne takes over. She becomes the first president of the new United States, and it's so much better.
Yay!
Yay!
So dark.
No, it's totally.
Which one of yours would you want the most?
I want Michonne to run the country and then the United States.
Carl too.
Carl, yeah. I was thinking about that actually. How, like, when I said Carl is in charge of a city, I was like, should it be a whole continent but I thought that might be, it would take a lot to get to that point. You could just show it though. Fast forward to it.
Right. Exactly.
So we have a list of responses from listeners. Do you want to stick around while we read through that, or do you need to go?
I'll stick around.
Okay. So this is just a few of what people said on Facebook. There's some good stuff on here. You want to go?
Yeah, okay. And the first one is from Evan. Woo, I love Evan. I would like Doctor Who to show up and Andrew Lincoln's accent would slide back into its natural state. Doctor Who would explain that walkers are related to weeping angels. Somehow Rick's python is the TARDIS's missing flux capacitor. I would reveal more, but I wanted to keep the spoilers to a minimum. Rick's python.
Isn't the flux capacitor from Back to the Future?
Back to the Future. Yeah, Evan.
Rick's python is gun, not what you were thinking.
That's the TARDIS's missing flux capacitor.
B. Ilani says, with Michonne giving birth to Rick's love child.
Wow. Jabutu says, everybody dies, but mostly Glenn. God, Jabutu's such a jerk.
Dave says Rick wakes up in the hospital to Lori and family waiting on him to come out of the coma.
Mike says, one little change. Rick wakes up and finds Lori and Shane making out.
Adam says they take off the head zombie's mask to learn it was really old man Smithers all along. He was trying to get revenge on everyone because they made him the town janitor and gave Rick his dream job. And he would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for Rick and his meddling kid.
Drew writes, with Rick in a hospital bed and closing his eyes as he dies, then his eyes open and he's a walker fade to black.
I think this could happen. Maybe not in a hospital bed, but the last scene is Rick's face as a walker.
No.
Which is sad, I know.
Well, yeah, that's
a good one.
Yeah. Victor says they all get eaten and the human race goes extinct.
Dave writes, could go even further, and as he is awake and figuring things out, Michonne is a nurse. Herschel is the old guy in bed next to him. Dale is visiting his wife in the room next door, and the governor is the janitor. Voices he heard all along were people in his zombie nightmare. But as the finale closes out, you fade out to the television screen with breaking news about a riot with people cannibalizing each other and reportedly coming back from the dead. You're welcome, AMC.
This
That's
is
a good one.
That's the Wizard of Oz version.
Yeah, I like
That's
it.
a new number one.
Yeah.
Christina says, hope, some kind of hope that there's a cure.
Chaslin writes, the nuclear reactors fall apart due to weather and other natural events. And since nobody's there to stop it or try to clean it up, everything withers and dies due to radiation. Dark.
That's dark.
Very dark.
Nigel says dance battle.
Oh, please let there be a dance battle. David writes, it could end with an homage to the end of the original Night of the Living Dead. Rick is the Dwayne Jones role, a glimmer of hope extinguished by the ultimate heartbreaking irony. Oh, that would be sad.
Yeah. Jaden says we see Rick die from his perspective, then black, then credits. Best ending they could do.
Oh, no, it's also sad. Jana Lee writes, to see the zombies decomposing to nothing, then the group suddenly into a permanent place to start over. You know, the unicorns and glitter, a happily ever after kind of ending. Yeah, Jana Lee, I completely agree.
Daniel says, I'd want the final season to be season 15 and involve Carl all grown up with his people at war with Rick, Glenn, and Daryl. Oh Carl, who's turned completely evil and psycho by that point, would ultimately get to the brink of being killed by Rick. Rick can't ultimately do the deed, but Carl, about to kill his dad, ends up being bitten in the ass by a zombie Morgan, who we haven't seen since Clear, who crawls out of the bushes, LOL. Then Rick has to finally kill Carl in some emotional type way.
Emotional type way. With a rock. Brett says Daryl is the last one standing.
That's very likely. Mm-hmm. Jerry says the group driving off into the sunset, ready for new adventures and loads of zombie kills.
In their Hyundai.
Like the Saturday morning cartoon version.
Amanda says, with a cure and hope.
Ashley says, we finally learn what started the zombie outbreak and they discover another CDC-like place where scientists are working on a cure. It ends with Rick and his gang, or Carl if Rick's dead, going on a mission to infect all the zombies they can find with the antidote.
Anthony writes, Rick dies and is resurrected as Superman. I know what we must do now, he says, and wham! He takes off and fucking heat visions every zombie around the world. Then he vibrates his body so fast that he'll be able to reach inside someone and grab the infection out and proceed to punch the virus to death. Awesome.
P.S. I was high when I wrote this. Keith says, I would probably be happy with almost any ending, except if it was all a dream coma. Then I'd be pretty pissed.
Orlando writes, with the government taking control of things, with a cure.
Tanya says, Daryl strolling down the road with a dog and his crossbow, kind of like Mad Max.
Oh, a doggy. We don't see a whole lot of doggies in this show. And Sylvain writes, everybody dies and the walkers inherit the earth. Yep. That's probably what's going to happen.
Yay. Okay, man. Thanks for coming on and doing that. Let's talk a little Audible. You can go to audiblepodcast.com/deadcast now to get a free audiobook when you sign up for a free trial. Audible has 100,000 titles to choose from, and we promise they're not all Stephen King. That's all we ever talk about. You can get magazines and newspapers on there. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Me neither. I just was poking around there today. They have the New Yorker. And
no kidding.
Yeah, and I looked to see how long it would be, and it's an hour and 3 minutes. But then it says they have a variety of the issue's best articles, so it's not the whole thing.
But still,
you should try that out.
God, instead of having the giant
expensive
stack of New Yorkers that inevitably gets left on my nightstand, it'd be great to have. Oh my God,
I'm kind of interested, yeah, to see what it's like.
Yeah. That's really cool.
Mm-hmm. A few of you have written in saying you've signed up and are enjoying Audible, so thank you for helping us out, and we're glad you're liking it, and for just letting us know that you did that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, thank you.
And even someone read 11/22/63 at your suggestion, or listened to it, so that's very cool.
I think that was Jimmy.
One more question, Margaret. The last time you mentioned that Margaret Atwood book, and it's 2 books set in the post-apocalyptic future, dystopia, right?
Right.
Dystopia. But it sounds like the second one maybe is better. Is that right?
Yeah, I loved
is
it. After the
called?
Flood?
Yeah. And so would it be okay for me to just read that one, or will I be missing out if I don't
Yes.
do both?
No. They stand alone.
They stand alone. Okay.
They absolutely stand alone.
Okay.
Yeah.
I might
And
do
I
that
think
one
it's
next.
called After the Flood. Yeah.
Yeah, I think or it's got flood in the title.
Yeah, I think it's called After the Flood.
Okay, I just wanted to check on that since we're talking about Audible. But our recommendation this week is a audiobook that both Karen and I are listening to, Under the Dome by Stephen King, which we mentioned in the news part. They're doing a TV show. This audio book is only 34 hours and 29 minutes long, so it's just real quick. But I am about 20 hours in.
Oh, are you really already? You're
I know.
totally hooked, aren't you?
I'm totally hooked.
Yeah.
Are you liking it?
I am.
You are, yeah.
I am, but it's not an easy listen.
Yeah, there's a lot of characters.
There's a lot of characters, and also there's a lot of conflict in the book, and it's the conflict between people
When they're trapped under this mysterious invisible dome around their city.
Yeah, and so it's not easy necessarily. You have to sort of have you have to know.
You have to be able to focus on it.
And you have to know that it's a Stephen King book, so there's going to be foul language and some violence and that sort of thing. But if you can
Right.
get through that, it's pretty compelling.
Yeah, I'd say it's a safe bet that most of our listeners are okay with gore. And
Yeah,
violence.
you think?
Maybe
Yeah.
not the cussing, but
This isn't the gardening podcast. You're right.
yeah, I'm really liking it. I mean, I think Stephen King in general, his characters are a bit cartoony sometimes, and some people are a little more snidely whiplash than people really are in real life. A little more evil. But it's totally entertaining, and I'm drawn into the tension. And yeah, I mean,
And what would it be like if there was an invisible dome that went over your town? I mean, he does these really cool. You know, what if you could time travel? What if you had this dome come down? It's pretty awesome.
And I'm excited to be listening to this, and I should finish it up within a couple days at my current rate because the TV show's coming out.
Yeah.
And, it's different because this is a book and it's just one thing, but the show is going to be ongoing, so they're going to have to change the story up, but it's going to be a lot of the same stuff too.
But isn't the show a limited?
It's 6 episodes, but they're going to do more next year and more the year after that.
Are they?
And Brian K. Vaughan has said, I don't want to tell you what the time period is in this book, but it's, for the characters who have gone through by the end of the book, but it's limited. I'll say that. But the show Brian K. Vaughan is saying we could have these people under this dome for years with the ideas that he has.
Interesting.
So anyway, it should be interesting to see. Yeah.
And Brian K. Vaughan's pretty awesome. So, by the way, did you hear Stephen King on Fresh Air with Terry Gross last week?
Oh no!
On NPR.
I gotta check that out.
Yeah, a really great interview
Yeah.
with him. Really great, actually. He's playing tennis again. By the way.
I haven't been listening to Fresh Air because I've been listening to this book instead.
Yes.
But I know while I've been listening to it, Stephen King was on there, and so were the Arrested Development people, right?
Yeah.
So I got to listen to those.
Yeah, you do. You really do. He's great. And it's funny. He says, he talks about the scariest thing that he's seen in a while, and it's not a movie and it's not a TV show. It's a movie where somebody gets dementia, and like losing your marbles to him is the most scary thing in the world.
That's scary to me right now.
Right.
Dude.
But that's like,
I just sent my DNA to 23andme.com. You know about that?
did you really?
Yeah, my spit. And then they tell you what health problems you might have a proclivity
Right,
towards.
right.
And I have a higher than average chance of getting Alzheimer's, I found out. And I'm like,
Really?
that totally makes sense. It's not that much higher, but it's higher.
You got the results already?
Yeah, well, I did that a while back, so I
wanna
just
do
recently got them.
that.
It's interesting. You can tell, what your ethnic background is, and not that you don't already know, but what percentage from each section of the world.
What are you highest in?
Oh, European, but there's different aspects of that.
Interesting.
And anyways, and then you can like connect up with potential relatives and stuff like that. I haven't really dug into it that much yet, but
That's really cool.
it's cool. It's scary though. The medical stuff is kind of scary.
Yeah. No, don't worry. You got plenty of marbles to spare.
Yeah, but if you want to get your mind off of anything like that, you should listen to an audiobook. And you can get a free one by going to audiblepodcast.com/deadcast for your free audiobook. We thank Audible and all of you guys for your support.
Thanks, everybody.
So let's move on to listener moans, groans, and grunts.
Do it. mind. All right, first one comes from Daniel, who writes, one of my recent favorite movies is Headhunters. It's a 2011 Norwegian thriller, which is about a headhunter / art thief. It is clever, smart, and just incredibly awesome movie. I heard Mark Wahlberg is going to make an English version of this film, which I imagine will be nowhere near as good as the original foreign version. Oh my God, they never are. And it has a 92% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, I looked it up. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, Norwegian thriller called Headhunters. Do you think I give too much
credence to Rotten Tomatoes?
No.
When I was younger, I had this friend who always would say, well, the reviews are this. And I'd be like, my thought was, well, I don't care what reviewers say. I want to, judge for myself. But I think having an aggregate score is like, well, if everybody's hating it, maybe.
Yeah. Well, you know what? David actually brought up a good point. He said sometimes with like action films, if it has a low critical review percentage, he actually thinks that's fine because, a lot of critics are sort of snobby and not looking for the same thing in an action film that he is. And then also if it's got a low, for like an independent movie, and if it's got a real low score, he doesn't really give that too much credence either, because often they don't have the same taste he does. So it depends.
With Russian Ark, which was like one long take.
In that museum.
Yeah, and it was very. It was an experience,
right?
But it was kind of boring, and it was very cool to have watched, but it was sort of a chore at the same time, and it got a really high score. But when you read the reviews, they're all sort of like the same thing I said, like just barely tip it into the positive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that just registers as a ripe tomato, even though they're sort of lukewarm. But I'll give it a okay.
Yeah.
So you get ripe tomatoes across the board of lukewarm reviews,
right?
And it's like 97%.
Critics love it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Okay, let's move on. So this is from Nancy. She says, thanks for the top 10 movies podcast. People like the movie thing.
Oh, good.
You guys did something I still haven't been able to do myself, narrow my favorite movies down to the top 10.
It wasn't easy.
Yeah, it wasn't easy. There were a couple I agreed with, but I'd like to chime in for a few faves of mine. Sound of Music, which I've never seen. I saw a high school production of it last year, and it was great. And I'm like, wow, there's a lot of songs I know in this.
You're going to, oh my God, with Nico, you're totally going to watch it and love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Longest Day, I've never heard of that. A Funny Thing, happened on the way to the forum. Airplane, I like that one. Arsenic and Old Lace.
Yeah.
Never seen it.
Old play.
Sergeant York, never saw it. Matrix.
Yeah.
Huh?
We all saw
I'm just kidding. I didn't mention that one, I don't think. I love that movie, but the second two really soiled it for me.
Really?
Part 2 and 3.
Yeah. What are the names of the brother and sister now?
Wachowskis.
Yeah.
They've got a new one coming out. Not Cloud Atlas, a different one.
Oh.
Sounds good. Anyways, Jaws. That was the first movie I ever saw. Scared the hell out of me.
I'll bet.
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh my God, best movie ever.
I don't know them. I think that might be the one with the wrestler Rowdy Roddy Piper.
Oh, okay.
Dracula, Lugosi's version, Field of Dreams, Braveheart, Planet of the Apes, the 60s version, Bridge on the River Kwai, Lawrence of Arabia, Zulu, African Queen, French Connection, and I could go on and on. I had to stop myself.
Yeah, we hear you, Nancy. African Queen is one of my favorites too. I loved it.
That's Bogey.
Bogey, yeah.
And Katharine Hepburn. It's good.
Yeah, it is. It's
I
great.
like both of them.
It's great.
I got to watch that.
Daniel writes, another Daniel.
Have you been to that old theater in Palo Alto?
Which one?
There's an old theater that's on University that has been there since like the 40s or 30s and showed all these movies when they first came out.
I think it's called the Stanford or something like that. Yeah, and it's got every once in a while
balcony
and they've got an organ, and they still play. They still have organ music sometimes. Yeah,
I saw Psycho there, but it's great to go see movies there. Yeah,
oh, that's great.
I'm gonna take my grandma.
Daniel says, I've been listening to your podcast since the very beginning. Aw, and you guys have become my personal heroes. Oh, I love the way you ride the mics, your humor, your chemistry together, etc. In fact, you inspired me to create my own podcast with a friend, and it's the best thing I've ever done. Oh, pulled me out of a dark depression after one of the worst breakups of my life. Could not thank you guys enough for that. Anyway, I had this crazy thought that what if I get one of you to briefly Skype in one day on my show? You guys are podcasting gods in my eyes. Oh my God. Thanks, dude. My version of Glenn Mazzara and Andy Lincoln.
I am the podcasting god.
I will appear on your podcast.
I will.
I'm aware, of course, it's a massive pipe dream, and you guys must be the busiest people in the world, and I only have 200 listeners at present, but growing steadily, and that got me wondering how many listeners it would take before I could deviously con one of you into coming on. 2,000? 20,000? 2 million? Anyway,
I'll come on if you get 2 million.
I'll come on anyway. Anyway,
for just 200?
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
You're now a demigod. Anyway,
I've been cast out.
Aside from that, your amazing mastery of the medium you guys have there. Oh, how sweet. With your humor and Karen's golden pipes, you're unstoppable. I hope you guys never stop doing what you do. Oh, man.
Yeah,
thanks, sweetheart.
I'll totally do it. I love going on other people's podcasts.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I've already been on a few. I
Yep.
think you should do it too, for sure, because you haven't been on anybody else's, and it would be fun for me to hear you on one. In fact, I would love it if just you did it, just so I could hear. But I'll do it with you if you want.
I'm no good.
You'd rather have me do it. Okay, we'll do it together.
Good.
All right, I'll contact you, Daniel. Okay, this is from Harry. Hey guys, I just listened to your newest episode, and I wanted to let you know that I love listening to your show while we wait for The Walking Dead to come back on, and I was wondering if you would come on my podcast. No, I'm just kidding. I also just thought I'd give you my top 10 favorite movies. 1, Scream.
Oh, that's good.
Good. 2, Airplane. Hey, he shares that one with Nancy.
I'm shocked I left that off my list.
Anchorman. Everybody else loved Anchorman a little bit more than I did.
Never saw it.
You didn't? With Will Ferrell?
Nope.
News guys.
They're coming out with a new one.
Yeah, it's called Anchorman 2, I think.
Shocking.
Rear Window,
Oh,
which
so
is
good.
great. Zombieland, 40-Year-Old Virgin. Did you see that?
Oh, I love that
and
movie.
that guy, Steve Carell, he's in Anchorman too. Yeah, love that movie. Psycho, awesome. Jaws, Toy Story,
Oh, it's so good.
and Mean Girls. Don't judge me, he says, but I loved Mean Girls.
I did not see Mean Girls.
It was Lindsay Lohan before she turned into a huge skank. And it's good. It's written by Tina Fey, I think.
Yeah. And by the way, of course we judge you, Harry. We judge you positively. But yeah, that's a great list. That is a really great list.
Here's another list.
Okay, this is from Justin. My top 10. Number 10, It's a Mad, 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 Mad World. 9, Joyeux Noël, about the World War I Christmas truce. Oh, yeah. Absolutely beautiful film that has me in tears by the end every time. Joyeux Noël. 8, The Avengers. A wonderful, fun film. It hits the right notes at almost every opportunity. I couldn't even think a movie about my favorite team growing up together could get made. It was just beyond my comprehension. And then it ended up being that good.
Did you ever see that?
I did see
The Avengers with the Hulk and Captain America.
Yes.
Joss Whedon.
Yes,
Yeah,
because I'm a
okay.
giant Joss Whedon
Yeah.
fan. And I thought, and yes, I thought it was wonderful too.
Me too. I did too.
Yeah, and then I started to think, was there another Avengers movie?
Well, the
like, was there one?
60s.
Yeah.
you know,
I
the
wasn't sure.
Spies.
But that's not what he's referring to.
No.
Okay. 7, Raiders of the Lost Ark. A fun romp that still holds up after all these years, manages a nice little balance between high adventure and character moments that modern films just don't anymore. Oh, couldn't agree with you more. 6, Star Trek 2009. A movie I enjoyed immensely. Within the first 10 minutes, we had more emotion than we got in most of the other previous films. 5, Back to the Future. A nearly perfect film. Funny, thrilling, and managed to make time travel easy to understand.
Great movie. That's one that I kind of regret not even mentioning because I always love that one.
That is a good one. 4, Children of Men. Fantastic performances
Awesome.
and direction. Yeah.
I want to see that again.
Oh my God. Such a great movie. And that's kind of a post-apocalyptic movie, but apocalypse of a different kind. And oh God, it made me cry in so many times. He
Yeah.
says, I can't put my finger on it, but I felt different after having seen it. Like I was better for having watched. I agree with you, Justin. That haunted me.
And the guy was hot, right?
Yeah, but yeah, and it had Julianne Moore.
Oh yeah.
And what's his name? His friend, who's the older guy, who's
I don't remember for some
What's
reason the
his
actors in that
name? He's
movie.
so
Go,
good.
keep going, and I'll look it up.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna. By the time I finish this list, he'll have who it was. Star Wars is number 3, a life-changing experience for a 5-year-old. There's nothing like it at the time, and I was blown away when I saw it. Which is, I mean, good Lord, how did we not put Star Wars on our list?
I did.
Oh, all right then.
Remember, I was talking about how the lightsaber fighting was not that exciting compared to the newer films.
Yes, yes. 2, The Dark Knight. I know it's not fashionable to say I enjoyed it as much as I did, but I did. A realistic depiction of heroism in the face of chaos. And
Michael Caine.
Michael Caine, he was so good. Oh, he was so great. I loved him. Pull my finger.
I didn't know it wasn't fashionable to say you didn't like The Dark Knight. In fact, I didn't like The Dark Knight, and I thought I was the one who's being unfashionable.
Yeah, it's Jason really who's being fashionable. And Heath Ledger's performance was chilling. And
I agree with that. He was awesome.
Up. Oh my God. This one surprised even me, but I find it a perfect film made up of elements that I should hate. Elderly main character, fat kid sidekick, a talking dog, but he's a talking dog, a human-like bird. Who would have thought it would work? But it did wonderfully, and it still has the best opening few minutes I've ever seen, and completely without dialogue. But you know why it works is Michael Giacchino. His music is.
I think Brad Bird wrote it too. I'm not sure, but he's done all the really good Pixar movies.
Tons of shout outs in that movie to the East Bay as well, to Fenton's.
I liked it, but I felt like that first few minutes that he referenced was just inconspicuously better. It was like, wow. And then the rest of the movie was like, oh, this is cute. It's really good, but not like that. I don't know.
It had a whole arc of a relationship in just a couple minutes. It was
don't get me wrong. I liked it. Okay, thank you, Justin. Now let's move on to some calls. First, we have Scott Gimple, who's becoming a regular caller.
That's sweet of him to
call. Sorry. Scared my kitten when I yelled like that. Anyway, this is me. And my name is Boom. You know what my name is. You know exactly what it is.
Boom.
Anyway.
Boomer.
You know what?
What?
Bam. Bam is also another word I use. Okay?
I've never heard.
Also, bam. Anyway, that's spelled BAMPF. Anyway,
Nightcrawler.
What I was saying was nothing, but now I'm going to say something. And what I'm going to say is, I listened to your last podcast, nearly all of it.
Thanks.
You have very long podcasts, and I listened to almost all of them.
Longer because of some messages.
Okay. And one thing I heard was the order in which you guys think the best seasons of The Walking Dead should be ordered.
3, 1, 2.
And I want to tell you what I think
3, 1,
about that.
Yeah, 3, 1, 2.
Go ahead, Scott Gimple. Do you think it's 4?
I liked
it's
season
right when
1.
you came in, huh?
Was it my favorite?
Was it?
I don't know yet. Let me finish, man. Don't interrupt me like that. Is it my favorite? Yeah, but it's hard to say because it's only what? It's short. It's 6 episodes or something. Is it really fair to say? Yes, it is fair to say. And I'm going to say that it's my favorite, probably. Because when I first watched that,
so definitive.
dude, I was into it. I was hooked like a fish that got hooked. Was that clever? No, it wasn't at all. It was a horrible, horrible analogy. / joke. Anyway, I gotta keep it moving along. I get sidetracked easily with my words. Anyway, season 1. Boom, I liked it. I was just hooked, dude. I was into it. I was like, bam, what's gonna happen next? This is crazy. This is interesting. Things are happening that are interesting. Season 2, I was still hooked on it. Yeah, the first half was weird. It was a little silly. The second half was awesome. And then season 3, the first half was awesome.
Boom.
And the second was not awesome.
Was not.
So let me rank them for you. I'd probably say 1, 2, 3. Boom.
That's all.
That's what he would say.
Yeah, that's what people say, that the second half faltered, that it felt like there was filler and they weren't getting to the war quickly enough of season 3. And they had a whole episode with the governor and Rick. I mean, I still thought it was better than the first half of season 2, where they kept hitting the same emotional beats over and over and looking for Sophia.
Right.
And yelling at Shane and all that. Okay, thanks, man.
Thanks, Scott Gimple. We'll keep that in mind.
312. That's what I say. Okay, and then there's a call from Megan.
Hi guys, it's Megan in Pennsylvania. I have some random thoughts based on the last couple podcasts. I've been enjoying the off-season podcast as always. First of all, thanks for the shout-outs and the congratulations and everything. I was really, really amused on the part 2 podcast.
Hooray.
Went over to the other podcast that I downloaded it because I wanted to hear you guys. They were so astonished that you had listeners to eat squirrels. I would totally now use squirrels, but I'm pretty sure that's not allowed by Uncle Sam. In fact, it's the morning that I listened to that. Before I listened to it, I was taking things out of the deep freezer to defrost, and I almost pulled out what my grandmother would have called a mess of squirrels. And I thought, no, I'll wait. Just come visit and I'll cook you squirrels, I guess. I have a couple funny little ass kicker stories. I downloaded this.
Wait, so you won't eat them because you're a vegetarian, or because if you weren't a vegetarian, then would you eat them?
Yes and no.
If you weren't, you wouldn't.
I wouldn't eat them because I'm a vegetarian, and even if I wasn't a vegetarian, no.
Why not?
Because they're squirrels. Actually, you know what? If I did eat meat, I'd probably eat everything. Hell, I'd eat you.
New version of the Oregon Trail for my iPod, and it's really souped up. They have all these goofy things, that weren't on the original. And you can name your family. So I named my family Rick, Lori, Carl, and Lil Ass Kicker. And the family's sniping at each other while they're going along the trail, and they're all dusty and hot and irritable. And at one point, Carl or Rick, I forget which, yelled to Lori, "Lil Ass Kicker hates you, Lori." And it was great, and I wanted to screen cap it, but I don't know how to screen cap an iPod, so I didn't capture it. And then I have this pregnancy app on my iPod.
Oh, you hold down the top button, the power button, and while you're holding it down, just press the home button on the front, and then you'll take a screenshot, and it'll be in your photos, whatever photos.
Really?
Yeah. Try it.
That's a handy little tip. Thank you.
And it tells you how big the baby is and what you're supposed to be doing at different weeks and stuff like that. And I tried to, you can set the name of your fetal name. And, of course, our little fake fetal name is Lil Ass Kicker, but it wouldn't accept it. It says that name is not acceptable. So I changed the Z's and it took it. So I guess they don't want you swearing at your baby. If anybody dies and they weren't sick, which obviously happens frequently, you don't always know someone's going to die suddenly, they turn. And I feel like if you're in a, quote, secure, safe community that you've built, that's safe from zombies, all that has to happen is that some healthy adult has an aneurysm in their sleep or a heart attack, and boom, they wake up, they eat their spouse.
Boom.
I'm sorry, Forrest, I don't think we're sleeping together in the zombie apocalypse. We're all going to have locked cells to sleep in separately in case someone turns.
You can just have muzzles.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, and then you can nuzzle.
And then boom, you've got 2 zombies wandering around. How many people are going to get bit before anybody even knows what's going on? So I feel like you're never truly safe. And I feel like the people in the show are not taking safeguards to protect themselves from that type of thing. Especially an old guy like Herschel, you would lock him up at night in case he has a heart attack or something. And I wonder about anything like that occurring at Woodbury too. They never really, alluded to that. So, at any rate, those are my random thoughts. Enjoying all the shows, and keep up the good work. Thanks. Bye.
Thanks, Megan.
Thanks, Megan.
You know what? And by the way, hi, little ass kicker. I actually think that we are going to see somebody turn from within. And we haven't seen that yet. I bet you, dollars for donuts, we're going to see somebody turn unexpectedly because, yeah, you're right. Sudden deaths happen, man.
Yeah, I agree. We've been teased with it when Herschel was unconscious and after he got his leg chopped, but it didn't happen.
Right.
Yeah, I want to see that.
I think it's going to happen. And I don't think it's going to be Herschel. Herschel's the logical one, but I don't think it's going to be Herschel. And I don't know anything specific.
Anything?
No, nothing. I know nothing. Really? Haven't you figured that out by now?
Speaking of what you know, let's move on to news from Lake Zombie Gone.
It has been a very quiet week in Lake Zombiegon. I have my first article from a newspaper in London called The Independent. Maybe you've heard of it. And they are advertising a show that I'm praying to God comes here to the United States. It is a French series. It's an 8-part series, and it's called The Returned. Have you heard of it?
Nope.
Yeah, they're just getting it. I think it was released in France in the fall of 2012. It just came to London or to England. And an 8-part French series has altogether upended my hatred of zombie movies, says this reviewer. A smash hit when it was shown last year on the French pay channel Canal Plus. Les Revenants, which means The Returned, is this month's must-see television drama. The Returned, as it's being called on Channel 4, which is Channel 4 BBC in the UK, has taken most of the cumbersome old horror genres and given it intelligence, style, heart, and soul. It's not a satire on consumerism or a foretaste of the apocalypse, but an emotionally realistic, character-driven saga about what would happen in an ordinary French town. It's actually filmed in Annecy in the Rhône-Alpes region. If the dead started returning to life. So get this kind of premise. It's kind of interesting. Here it is. 4 years after a coach plunged off a mountain road, killing a party of local school children, the mother of one of the dead, a 14-year-old named Camille, discovers her daughter raiding the refrigerator, seemingly unscathed, unaged, and oblivious to her fate. The weirdest thing happened to me, Camille nonchalantly tells her stupefied mama. And soon, other supposedly long-buried teenagers start returning to their old homes. And so this is what the writer-director says. She says, I love Romero's films, but I thought it would be interesting to imagine what might happen in the real world when the dead try to regain their place in society.
That sounds great. It doesn't sound like a zombie movie if they're normal. It sounds like a Twilight Zone episode, but it sounds really good.
It does. And I'm not sure. Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, they're raiding on the refrigerator as opposed to raiding her brain.
And they're talking, yeah.
Yeah,
that made me want to watch it.
Right. So my question for you all you listeners out there, does anybody know if it's coming to BBC America? I looked and I could not find the answer, but I was only hunting on my iPhone this afternoon, so I don't have the answer. So if anybody knows,
cool, that could be one. We've strayed away from our off-season format a bit, and I actually had a lot of fun on this episode doing our top 5 because it was more like what we used to do.
Yeah.
It was cool. But maybe at some point before the show starts up again, we can actually review a movie like we used to, and this sounds like it could be a candidate if we can get a hold of it.
Yeah, I'd love to. I'd really love to. So this next article is it's so cute. It's from a park ranger blog, and it's just so delightfully written. I really enjoyed it very much. It's 5 state parks to hide out in if there's ever a zombie apocalypse. And it's so cute. And, he's like, look, you have to decide. Do you want to be somewhere remote where you might not have supplies, or do you want to be somewhere close to town where you're going to come
Central Park.
Where you're going to come, where you're going to come into contact with a lot more people, but you'll be closer to supplies. Well, if you take the wilderness route, then grab your favorite blunt instrument and let's find out the top 5 parks in the United States to go if you're going to hide out from the zombies. And so he has a whole list, and I thought they were really, really cute. One of them is Robbers Cave State Park in Latimer County, Oklahoma. And it's pretty cool. I could see why he chose it. There's lots of little nooks and crannies you can hide out in. He chose Longhorn Cavern State Park in Burnett County, Texas, which is really cool. It's underground bunkers and it hidden kind of in the mountainside rock caves. Check it out. Isn't it cool?
Oh, yeah. Maybe that's a theme, huh? Caves.
Yeah, well, no. And then he talks about this other place, Canopolis State Park in Kansas. And it's flat, except these are little buttes that kind of rise up, and it's near an airplane hangar, by the way, so you could fly there, and then you could be sort of high up, and you would be able to see them coming. But he also chose Cayo Costa State Park, La Costa Island, Florida. And he says, this is really cute. If you're absolutely certain zombies can't swim, then you can't beat an island. Behold, Cayo Costa State Park, a Florida state park located on Cayo Costa Island. Once you arrive, do a thorough sweep of the island to make sure it hasn't already been infiltrated. After you've convinced the island, is clean of brain eaters, set up your stronghold and do routine sweeps of the beaches to make sure undead swimmers don't come ashore. But really, what are the chances that zombies can swim? And then finally, Hanging Rock State Park in North Carolina, which is so beautiful. Check it out. See why that would be a good one?
It's beautiful. I'd love to go there.
I think it'd be really good. You could. There's one thing that I really feel quite convinced of, and that is zombies can't climb very well.
Yeah, I think you're right. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Should live in a treehouse.
Right. And he concludes the article with, well, survivors, those are our 5 zombie apocalypse hideout recommendations. If you're not sold on any of these 5 hideouts, then we wish you all the best when the apocalypse comes. But if you do end up turning into a zombie, could you do us a favor and stay away from these places? Thanks. Long live the living.
The scariest zombie climbing is in that new World War Z movie where they just pile up on each other.
On each other.
Yeah.
They don't care. Zombies don't care.
If other zombie steps on their head.
Right. They don't. Zombies do what they want, man. They're
I want to get a whole.
They're like honey
together and
badgers.
Try that. Try climbing up each other. Get over that wall.
And this is kind of interesting. I haven't heard about this movie that's coming out, but it's got. Do you know who Anna Kendricks is?
New big star.
She's in a new apocalyptic comedy called Rapture Palooza, out on June 7th, which is this coming weekend. A young Seattle couple, including Anna Kendrick, and Bones' John Francis Daly, get left behind when a billion others have been raptured to heaven. In between the bloody rain showers and plagues of talking locusts that soon become customary, the duo have to ward off the Antichrist, who hopes to marry Kendrick's character. To prep for their end-time showdown, the couple assemble a ragtag army of undead fighters, including their lawn-mowing zombie neighbor, Reno 9/11's Thomas Lennon. Fortunately, recruiting him isn't too hard, says Kendrick. We just picked him up and took him with us. She should share her methods with the cast of The Walking Dead. It's cute. Check it out.
I don't know.
Oh, we'll see, man. And
if done well.
Finally, I just wanted to wish everyone a belated, and I feel really bad about not saying this the last podcast, a belated happy Zombie Awareness Month. It was May. And
we were totally unaware.
We were totally unaware. If anybody who would be aware of zombies in May, it would be us. And yet we fell down on the job. Sorry, everybody.
Next year, we'll be aware. We promise.
Okay.
Anna Kendrick is in a movie called Wish I Was Here that's done by the guy who was in Scrubs and Garden State. You know that guy?
Yeah.
I forgot his name. He did a Kickstarter to raise money for it. He got like $2 million. And now he's casting it, and he's got a lot of good people. The guy who was the swordsman in Princess Bride, You Killed My Father.
Yes.
Mandy Patinkin, he's in it.
Yes.
And this guy, whose name I'm forgetting.
Wow.
And the guy from Big Bang Theory. There was something else I wanted to say about what you were saying. I can't remember. Okay.
So that's the news from Lake Zombie Gone, where all the women are dead, all the men are bad looking, and all the children are brain-eating freaks.
All right, that's our show, episode 106. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
You know how everyone was pissed off that I did that April Fool's joke because they thought you were leaving the show? Jenny said, what if instead of saying, it's now Jason and Bill, if I'd said Jason and Desiree? And people are like,
okay.
Well, let's see.
We'll give her a shot.
Yeah.
What's this Desiree like? I bet she remembers names. I bet she remembers what was on the show last week. Yeah, Desiree is much better. Desiree is better, and she's funnier.
Next time, if one of us ever leaves the show, we need to find a Desiree.
We do. She'll set everything right.
If you'd like to leave us a message, you can call us at 650-485-DEAD. That's 650-485-3323. Or send us a audio file.
Oh, yeah. You can email us at brains@walkingdeadcast.com.
You can check out our website at walkingdeadcast.com. And don't forget to click through our Amazon link, or just go to walkingdeadcast.com/Amazon whenever you shop at Amazon.com.
Did you get my last order?
I haven't looked lately.
Oh, yeah. That was me. We're also on Twitter at Jason Karen, on Tumblr at walkingdeadcast.tumblr.com, on Facebook at facebook.com/deadcast, and on Pinterest at pinterest.com/deadcast.
I ordered a new ice cube tray, but it's flexible, like rubber almost.
Ooh, tricky.
Because ice cube trays suck.
And
They break.
You ordered just that?
But they're big. They have big cubes, big giant ones, which I'm not so sure I'm happy about. Like, it almost fills up the glass, so it takes longer to melt if you're going to nurse your drink, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I have to tell you one thing about Star Trek, and this is not a spoiler at all. Don't you people worry.
Speaking of ice.
At one point, there is a glass of alcohol being drunk, and the ice cube is round like a fist. It's beautiful.
Is it like an orb?
Yes.
Oh, so there's another ice cube thing on there. It costs $9 for 2 of them, and they make those orbs.
Love them.
Okay, I'm gonna give you one of those as a surprise gift sometime.
Yes,
so don't buy it for yourself.
You know what? I won't remember, so it genuinely will be a surprise.
You won't listen to this.
Right.
Yeah, because I was thinking about getting those. Maybe if I get, will you be mad if I keep one and I give you one?
No, I'll be.
Okay.
I'll be absolutely so pleased. I
Okay.
gave Lissy.
They come in sets of 2.
I gave Lissy a Titanic ice cube tray, so you get miniature Titanic ice cubes and then miniature icebergs, so the Titanic can keep running into an ice cube iceberg. I guess it's in poor taste.
I think they made a new Titanic. Like, they replicated it at the boat. You know?
Did?
And they're going on this tour in the same
3-hour tour?
area.
A 3-hour tour? Really?
Sounds smart. That's what I read. You know, this was years ago. It might have already happened. I don't think it sank.
We would have heard
If
about
you
it.
want something to buy, you could buy a t-shirt that says "Don't Get Bit," and you could go to walkingdeadcast.com/shirts if you want to buy that. We got the really good material one, and we make very little profit on those, but Mark Manfrey did an awesome job designing those.
I wear mine proudly.
Or you can go to our Comic-Con event with the Prison Gang and the Walker Stalkers. The Prison Gang is Big Tiny, Tomas, and Oscar. And it'll be me and maybe Karen on Skype from Israel. And you can get those tickets at walkingdeadcast.com/tickets. And next time, the Because Show, and I really mean it this time. Last time I said they would come on next time, so this time they will be on next time, unless it doesn't work out, and then they won't be on next time.
They won't be.
Maybe. And then June 29th is our Game of Thrones episode. So because of scheduling, it's actually a few weeks after the final episode, which is going to be next week.
Right.
But, you know, oh well.
We're gonna let
it'll be fun.
By that time, it'll have sunk in.
and
And the best part about this
is
we're doing it with
Mr. Blog. Yeah, who knows more about Game of Thrones than either one of us
combined. we love Mr. Blog, and I cannot wait to have him back here in this room.
And not to say anything about last night's episode, but I'm glad that we waited to do it at the end of the season so we can talk about that.
Not to say
You haven't
anything.
seen it,
I
have
haven't
you?
seen it yet, but was it good?
That's hard to answer. I'd say yes. I think it was good.
Great. Oh,
You didn't read my email about it? 'Cause
No.
I kind of gave away some things.
No, after Mr. Blog's email, which didn't give anything away, I
don't
stopped
read it
reading,
until
and
you
then
watch
I
it. Yeah.
virtually, as I told Mr. Blog, I virtually put my